Good morning and welcome back to another one. Gorgeous sunrise. This video is going to be a catch, clean, and cook from a local lake. Come along, let's go. I didn't catch this one on film, but we got a nice little largemouth here. I caught you a delicious bass. If you've ever seen that movie, that was funny. All right, we are gonna show how to fillet a bass. On this lake, there's no length limit. This is like maybe a 13-inch bass, something like that. It's, yeah, 14. Perfect size to eat. What we're gonna do is fillet it out, and then later for lunch, I'm gonna make a blackened bass with rice. Should be pretty good. I've done that recipe with catfish, and it is delicious. It's never good when you have that many rods laying out. That means you didn't catch anything. So we're gonna show how to fillet this bass. First thing you're gonna do is flip up his side fin here. A lot of people come straight across like that. I don't know if y'all can see that, straight across. You actually wanna be at an angle where you're about right here. You're gonna come straight down until you feel the backbone. Straight down. And right now I can feel the backbone. My knife is hitting the backbone. At which point I'm gonna turn my knife and I'm gonna begin to follow along the backbone, and you can feel the ribs. And when the ribs end, you're gonna push the knife straight out. Right there is where the ribs end, and you're just gonna follow that backbone all the way down. Now I like to leave that connected, and I'll show you why here in just a second. Apologize for the blood, but we're gonna fillet this right off of the rib cage, following around with the knife, using the flexibility of the knife. What makes a good fillet knife is it's flexible. Once you've reached the skin, right there, you can see that's the skin right there. There's no more meat on that rib cage. We can just come across, down, and that fillets off that entire fillet, okay? Now here's why I left that little piece of meat attached, so that you can actually keep it on the bass. Put your knife down to the skin, and you're just gonna follow the skin as your guide and fillet off all of that meat right off the skin. Boneless, skinless, delicious fillet. All right, you guys, welcome to the kitchen. This is where a lot of the wild game comes to life. A lot of the recipes I do contain wild game, fish, deer, rabbit, squirrel, you name it. I've probably got it in the freezer. So today we're going with fresh. This fish was swimming about 2 hours ago. We cleaned him on the lake. He's been sitting on ice for about an hour and a half. I've washed, dried this bass, and what we're gonna make is a blackened largemouth bass with coconut rice. Stick around. So very quickly, the rice. Simple long grain white rice, cooked in coconut water. We're gonna add some spices to that at the end. But for the blackened seasoning, it's gonna be a hodgepodge: onion powder, smoked paprika, Italian seasoning, salt and pepper, and garlic powder. I'll bring you in a little closer and show you how exactly we're gonna put this seasoning on, and then later how we're gonna cook it. What I like to start with is the salt and pepper. Keep it basic. Right now the bass is dry. The bass is dry. It's gonna cook in butter, so we don't have to be too mindful of the oil right now. Right now we're just doing the seasonings on one side. We're gonna come back and season further on the other side. Little Italian seasoning, little onion powder. I've done salt, pepper, Italian seasoning, onion powder, garlic powder. Now this is the blackened seasoning. This smoked paprika is really what gives it its blackened flavor, its blackened appearance as it's cooking. I'll flavor the other side and we'll come back ready to cook. We have our catfish all seasoned, ready to go. Now, which cast iron to use? Gonna have to go with the Lodge. We'll get more into the cast iron collection later in the channel. Turn that rice down. So as we're seasoning, letting our fish rest a little bit, we do have our rice going over here, okay? Again, coconut rice, so cooked in coconut water. We'll season at the end. Let's go ahead and get our cast iron here warmed up. We want this piping hot when we drop this catfish in. It's only gonna cook for a few minutes. All right, our cast iron's been heating up for about 5 minutes or so. It's on a medium-low heat. You can feel that skillet's nice and hot. Now, we're gonna add about 2 or 3 tablespoons of oil. You want a pretty good amount for this fish initially to prevent it from sticking. A good seasoned skillet is definitely going to aid in the non-stick. Let that oil come up to a hot temp, and we're gonna drop in our fish. Now, it's important when you put the fish in, 2 things. 1, lay away so the grease does not splatter up on you. And 2, we wanna let that fish sit at least 2.5 minutes. That fish will naturally release from the pan when it is ready. If you go to moving it initially, you could break it and it start falling apart on you. So we've got our oil nice and hot. We're gonna lay these fillets, like I said, away. And you wanna hear that sound. If you don't hear that sound, pull it off. Wait a little longer for that skillet to come up to temperature. All right, this fish has been cooking for about 2 minutes now. It should be released from the pan. Yep, as you can see, it's ready to flip. You can tell it's starting to whiten up around the sides. That means that it's starting to fully cook the bottom and it's ready to flip. So we're gonna gently flip these, and you can see that blackened seasoning is already starting to take effect. That's what you want to see, guys, right there. We're gonna let these fillets go another 2 minutes on this side, and then we're gonna come in with a little butter and begin to baste just like you would with a steak. All right, these fillets have been cooking for about another 2 minutes on this side. I'm gonna turn off the gas, flip one more time to get them back on their original side. And as you can see, guys, that blackened seasoning has really taken its color, which is exactly what you want to see. Now, we've turned off the flame. We're gonna come in with about, I'd say, a good tablespoon of butter. We've got our rice cooked up, ready. Put a little bit of butter in there, some salt, pepper, but rice is really difficult to season and get tasty. So, secret ingredient is a little bit of taco sauce. What that's gonna do is change the color, change the flavor of this rice, make it go a lot better with our blackened catfish. So I've come in with a little bit of taco sauce. All we're gonna do is incorporate that in. Changes the color, changes the flavor, little secret trick. All right, we're coming in, we're gonna plate this rice. Now we're gonna come over with our blackened catfish. Now, as you can see, guys, that catfish is blackened. It's not burned, but it is blackened. What that means is that seasoning has become charred, and that releases a lot of that flavor, guys. We're gonna come in. This fillet broke just a little bit. That's okay. We're gonna eat it anyway. Coming across there. All right, guys. I mean, what you're seeing here, just delicious blackened largemouth bass. Like I said, we just caught this bass about 2 hours ago. Let's take a look at that flaky white meat. Oh, it's hot, but it is ready to rock. Let's give this a little taste. Guys, and up close for you, this bass has a nice sweet flavor to it. A lot of people don't like eating bass just because they're kind of a sport fish. But guys, don't sleep on them. I mean, a good 13, 14-inch bass like that at a lake where that's legal to keep, you can't go wrong, guys. I mean, a delicious blackened bass. Washed down with a delicious ice-cold glass of milk served up in a mason jar. Come on. Guys, thank you so much for coming on another episode of Adamant Outdoors. Recap of today, we went to a local lake, caught a largemouth bass, cleaned the bass on the lake, brought him home, cooked him within 2 hours, made a delicious blackened bass with coconut rice. I really enjoy making these videos and I look forward to the next one. Until next time, Adam, out.